Welcome back to the Excel tutorials. In the first series, we looked at the workspace and all its components. In this particular series, we are going to look at the specific tabs, Home, Insert and Page Layout, and the various options that are offered inside these tabs. So I have categorized this particular thing into 12 items. So like we are going to study the Home tab, then Insert, and of course the Page Layout. And these are the items that we are going to study. First of all, if you come to the Home tab, we can see the cut, copy, paste. Those are the very simple options. You can just cut this item and paste it somewhere else. Most people actually prefer using the shortcuts, keyboard shortcuts for this particular thing, but we can actually go on with the tab options also. Then comes the font, color and the border. So the font is simple. You have got a list of fonts which you can choose from here, followed by the color of the text can be chosen from this particular option. The sizes also can be varied. The particular cell can be filled with a special color to highlight it in comparison to the other cells, or it can be bold, italicized or underlined as per your desires. Then there's the option if you have got a data 12 cross 3, like 12 rows are there, only 3 columns are there, you can actually perform the operation of borders. So it makes your data more visible, more better, and you can actually send it to some place where this can be analyzed. Further, the next part comes the alignment type. So in this particular thing, we can see that this is center aligned, this one is left aligned, and this one is also left aligned. If we want to bring all of them to the center, we can actually use this particular option here, and it will align all the items in the center position. You can align it vertically also. It can be taken to the top, middle or bottom. The middle looks better. You can actually adjust the size of the row also. Then we have got the option of wrapping. We have got an option of before wrapping text, we have got an option of changing the alignment of the cell content. So like if you want to write tab like this, so it will change the way in which it is presented in the cell, or it can be converted into a vertical text also. These can come in handy at sometimes, not always, but it's better to know about them. Or if you don't want to have any other option, just remove them and we'll come to the natural normal one. Now comes to the option of wrapping text. So this here cell, you can see that this cell content is quite long, and it is taking up a lot of column width and does not look good on our page. So what we can do here is actually we can go for wrap text. So what happens with the wrap text is that let us adjust our cell column width, and if we perform the option of wrap text, it will increase the height of the column and change the number of lines within that cell, so that all of the cell content is visible in one shot. So this is the advantage of wrap text. But still, if we feel that it is not looking good, we have got another option which is merge and center. So like I feel that this column width is not making my worksheet uniform. What I can do is I can choose 3 cells here and merge and center them. So what will happen is that I'll have the option of decreasing the size of this particular column row. So we can go for the wrap text option here now. After doing wrap text, you can see that there are it will take around 2 lines. Now this is better as compared to 4 lines. We can perform the option of merging and center on the top also, and for a better view we can use borders. So this is how we perform general editing on the particular cells. Now comes the number formats. So you can have actually number formats in this percent, like you have got 1 to 3, you want to change it into particular way, like this particular thing is naturally fed as a number in Excel, but like if you want to change it to currency, it can be changed to the format of currency. It will be automatically reflected as rupees and all that. You can actually change this into percentage. everything will be shown as a percentage. So like number 1 is 100% and all. You want to increase the number of decimals here, the same can be done here with this particular option, or decreasing anything. If you want to remove the percentage, then you can go back to the general mode. So these are the various options wherein you can choose. If you have got a particular date, then there are various formats of date here also. So there are other options here. Within the date you can choose like DDMMYY or MMDDYY, with MM being shown as the actual month, March or anything. So there are various options which can be chosen from here. Now let us come to the part of styles. So styles is one of the very cool thing. If you come to see here that it has actually changed into date. You can go back to the general mode. Okay. Now the conditional formatting is a very important tool at reporting and data viewing or analyzing the data. So we'll see it in a detail in the advanced version also. But for the time being, I'll show you that there are many options which can be created here. So like I want to see that if this particular cell is, whenever it becomes greater than 5, it should be highlighted. So I'll say that if this cell is greater than 5, it should fill with light red, fill with dark red text. I can change it also or make a custom format. And the moment I'll enter 6, this particular cell will change its style. So like now we can see it is filled with red and the text is also in the red format. So the option has changed. So this is what conditional formatting is all about. Now there are many other options. There are color scales, data bars. This works very good on actually number sets. When you have got a huge number of data, then this works very good, and it is actually very helpful in analyzing the reports. Now second option is formatting as a table. So if you choose this particular cell, you can actually choose different custom made styles like this particular, and it will change the format in which you can view all the data. This is actually for better viewing purposes, and there are default options of sorting and filtering. So this comes in handy. You can also choose not to do this, because this increases the size of your Excel file and it will make it slower if you have got a limited RAM and everything, processor speed. So many prefer not to use this. Then we have got options of cell styles, wherein you can actually use different style. Like if you want to fix that this is a check cell, you can use this format. It's all up to you what format you want to choose or not. Then comes the cells, like if you want to insert, delete and format. So most importantly, first of all, before going to explain the insert and the deleting functions, I'll explain you a small shortcut. Now if they want to select a row, we generally click here, or we have to select a column, we generally click on the column top. But there's our keyboard shortcuts for this, which will actually also help in inserting rows, inserting columns, because it is believed that the keyboards are much faster than the use of mouse. So I'll tell you the way how you can select an entire row. So if you have to select a row, press shift space, so the entire row will be selected. If you have to select a column, select control space, the entire column is selected. Now if you want to insert a particular cell over here, like insert a column, what you can do is you can insert it by control shift plus. Although it will be difficult to view actually whether I inserted or not, so I'll write a data here and choose this particular column by control plus, and I'll press control shift plus. So you can see that the data has shifted to the next column. If I want to delete this particular column, I just have to press control minus. The column has been deleted. I want to delete this previously inserted column also. All I have to do is first select the column, control space, and then hit control minus. So the column has been deleted. So this is a very handy function. Or you can actually choose the row, go on insert, it will insert in a row. So this is more traditional method, but since you have to fill a lot of data sheets in a particular day at your work, keyboard shortcuts always comes in handy, so it's better to know a lot of them. Now coming to the function of I'll explain small list of the editing functions also. So if you have got 7, 8, 9, 10 some numbers and you want to perform a auto sum on them, you can actually just click the auto sum. It will immediately choose the data which is above it or maybe left side to it. Maybe this data might be here left or it might be top, so it will choose it and will perform the operation that you specify. You can choose sum, you can actually choose average. Okay, so this has performed the sum. You can go for average also, it will give you 8.5. You can go for the max, min also. There are many options, so it's all depends on you what you want to choose. So this is also comes in very handy. Now comes the fill. So like if you have to fill numbers from in this particular option only, let's say I didn't fill this cell, so I have to fill from 1 to 12. So if I copy like this, 1 will be copied. I can use fill series, then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 will copy. The conditional formatting is still active, so whenever the cell number has become greater than 5, it is being shown as red with red text. I'll just delete the conditional formatting rule to avoid any confusion here. So this comes here. So this is one way wherein you can use fill to 12 numbers. But let's say you have to fill from 1 to 10,000. So if you're going to do that, it is going to take a lot of time. So there is an option for that. Now if you start doing like this, it will take a lot of time to fill till 1000. Okay, because you'll have to manually go till down. But there's a better way of doing this. Let's say you want to fill till 10,000. Write the first number, click on fill, choose series, go to columns, choose linear, a step value is 1 and stop value is 10,000. So now you can see that the cells are populated till 10,000. There is a huge amount of data which has come here. So this actually enables you to fill data in a much faster way compared to dragging your mouse all the way down here. As I again said earlier, that it is always better to use keyboards rather than mouse. So with time you will come to know how you can actually increase the efficiency of your work. Now comes the portion of filtering. There's one more interesting thing before filtering. This is called flash fill. Now flash fill is a very good thing actually with the new Excel. It was not in the previous versions, it's in the Excel 2016. So like this is a data of ID. People have got IDs like name and a number which represents them. So ID is like AAA, the name of the person is AAA and 1000. Then the second ID is like triple B and 2000. Third ID is like 4 times C and 3000. And fourth ID is like Santosh, the name of the person, 4000. So I want to extract the, let's say the name, or AAA, triple B are all fictional names. So I want to extract AAA. So what all I need to do is write the format what I want to extract in the first data and then click Ctrl E. It will actually extract the relevant data from the below cells or the below data. Okay, so this is one way. Let's say I want to extract the numbers rather than the name. So I want to extract 1000. So automatically the numbers corresponding to that will be extracted. So why I pressed Ctrl E? Ctrl E is actually the shortcut for the flash fill. So I could have done this without Ctrl E also, which I could have used the flash fill option from here. So I'll use AAA and then I'll use the flash fill. So Ctrl E is a shortcut for the flash fill. I can actually clear the data also using the option that I have got available here. So I can clear all. So these are the options which are available, general options which are available in home. There are many detailing which I'll do gradually with time. Now let us come to the more interesting topic, which is inside the insert table. Now in the insert, the first option that you get to see is pivot table. Now pivot table is one of the most interesting things, but it would be not justified if I start in the introductory series about the pivot table, so I'll deal with it later, but still, just to give you an initial flavor, I'll make a pivot table, show you how to make a pivot table on a data set. So let's say you have got a data set like this, 12 cross 3, there are 36 items here. You can choose the this particular cell and this particular data, and click on the pivot table. So it gives you an option that you have selected a table range and you want to insert it. You can actually choose to insert it in a new worksheet, but I don't want to do that. I want to choose it in the existing worksheet, and I'll choose a location. So what will happen is that it will generate a pivot table sort of thing. So what is this pivot table is that let's say I want to find how many tabs are there. So like I'm going to explain three particular tabs here: home, insert, and page layout. I think I might have kept an or open. I might have given a space thereby. That's why two inserts are being shown here. I might given a space here. So two inserts are showing. I'll remove that space, and hopefully it will come to 1. So when I refresh this data from here, so so 3 tabs are there, and I want to know how many items are there within each tabs in my particular tutorial. So what I'll do is I'll bring the item here and the count of the item. So it is showing that within the home I'm going to explain 7 items, within the insert I'm going to explain 3 items, and within the page layout I'm going to explain 2 items. So there are going to be a total of 12 items. So this is a basic introduction about pivot table. Pivot table is also working good on actual data sets, which will happen when I actually bring in the data. So we'll wait for this interesting topic later on. Then comes the second portion, which is shapes. So shapes are nothing. If you want to make some visual diagrams, text boxes or lines, and some interesting things, you can actually use shapes, perform merge, subtract, union options on them, and you'll get some small visual interaction things. Then comes the chart. Will obviously work on the numbers. Let's say like January, I make a data like January, or let's say I make a data like how many Sundays did I work. So I worked 12 Sundays. How many Mondays did I work? So like I worked on 10 Mondays. How many Wednesday? I'll just write it is 7. So I want to see a chart like how many days I work. So it is very simple to create a chart, and chart also again works very good on actually numeric data. So charts are going to be explained later on the tutorials, but just to give you an initial introduction, I'm showing you that how to make a chart very simple, very easily, and very fast. There are various ways in which you can change the formats in the design. Whenever you make something like this, you'll get the design tab, and you can actually change the format in which you see it. You can change the colors or whatever you feel like doing. Okay, so this is a whole other avenue which you'll enjoy. Then coming insert has got other options also, lines, columns, spark lines, but these are all very high. This requires diving into deep Excel topics, which we'll be actually doing in the later introductory tutorials. Then symbols. There are many options to actually insert the equations. These are helpful for engineering background and the mathematics students. If they want to insert equations, these are very easy to write here. So this will be shown as a different, separate from cell in a different text box. So this comes in well for people who actually use such equations. Then there are symbols which you can insert. These are basic functions, and it does not require so much of explanation. Now coming to the part of page layout. So page layout is everything which has to do with the printing function. First of all, let's say there are many themes which are inbuilt. So if you change the theme, the entire way of data which is being shown has changed. So there are many themes which are auto built by Excel, wherein everything is specified, like what font will be there, what color would be there, what size would be there. So you can choose between the existing themes or go with the basic theme and create your own custom theme. Apart from them, then you have got the margins. Margins are nothing but they deal with the actual paper on which you are going to print. These margins actually refer to the paper on which you are going to print. So let's say I want to print this particular paper, this particular selection. So if I go for Control P, I'm getting the print preview, print selection. I'm getting this print preview. You can see that this is the margin size. Let's say we want to decrease it, so I come back and I choose narrow. Okay, now if I go for the print preview, you'll find some difference that it has shifted to the left. So this is actually what margin is all about. Now if you go for the orientation, it also deals with the way in which the paper is going to come out in the printer. So if I go for Control P now, so what I'll get is I'll print selection. So this orientation has changed. It was earlier in the portrait form, now it is in the landscape format. Then size is like on what type of paper are you going to print. Is it a letter, A4, A5? Commonly we all use A4 only, so let it be set at A4. It is good. Then on the print area, now I had to choose selection, but let's say I want that I don't need to choose anything. I set a print area like this. So this is like my print area which has been set. Now I don't click on any selection, I perform Control P. So what will happen now? I'll have to see print X. So earlier it was on selection, so I had selected nothing, so no item was shown on this page. Now when I do it sheet, the automatically what I had set as the print area is coming here. So this is good when you actually go for the print or you make a PDF from this Excel. Then comes the breaks. If you want to insert a page break, let's say if you want to insert a page break here, you can insert a page break here. Okay, then you can actually go in the page break view like this, and you can see that earlier which was actually page 1, if we remove this break, it is actually in one page, and if you see the print preview, it is actually coming in one page. Now when I perform the page break option here and then look at the print preview, you will see that there are two pages, 1 and 2. So there are two pages which are shown here, page 1 and page 2. So this is what break does. Now print background is not a good option, and I have never tried to use this. You can go choose a file and set it as your background, but I don't feel that it is required at times. Now we come to the next option, which is print title. So print titles is a very good option if you're going to print multiple pages of a single data set. So like here we see that we have got 12 set of items we are going to discuss in this tutorial, and this is their header, serial number, tab, item. So what I do is that I print title. So in printing title, what I set is that I set a print title, I set the header. So print area is A1 to D17, and I see what rows to repeat at the top. So I choose this row to repeat at the top. Okay, so when I do this and I go for the print preview, you'll see a unique thing is that this particular header has come in the first page also and has come in the second page also. So this is what print titles does about. So I think we have come to an end to our introductory part series 2, which was dealing with the general components of home, insert and page layout tabs. So I hope you enjoyed it.